evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?
Welcome back to the Denver Broncos franchise on Madden 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. Before we actually start with this divisional round game against the Chiefs, let's at least go back and look at the final scores from the wild card round. So Ravens took down the Titans. The Cowboys beat the 49ers in a shootout. Texans edged the Bengals. Seahawks squeak one out against Carolina. The Chiefs crushed the Dolphins. And the Packers crushed the Falcons. So that's what happened last week. Now we get the Chiefs, of course, which is frustrating because of the teams remaining. They're probably the best one. So we're stuck playing them, and then in the other round, it's the Texans and the Ravens. So, now the good news is, if we do win this game, I kind of like our odds better against those other two teams that are still in it, considering we would be simulating that game. I guess we would say that we're rooting for Houston, for obvious reasons here, but, you know, either of those teams I feel like we can beat, but we have to simulate that one if we get to it. So it's better that it's those two teams than the Chiefs. So hang on a second. Okay, sorry. All right, so in the upcoming game, it's going to be blizzard conditions, so we know that there's going to be poor footing, so we'll just burn through this little cutscene here because it really doesn't matter. We don't have to answer any questions. So just go beat the Chiefs. And now it's also got a little bit on the line here because it's a rivalry game in the playoffs, and we're going to say that we are going to expect a chess match. We'll get play recognition boosts for this matchup, which is good against a team like the Chiefs, where our key is going to be slowing down Pat Mahomes. We did it very well the last time we played these guys. We're going to basically have the exact same strategy. It's similar conditions. So I would say, you know, the reality is this is probably going to be a game where we run the ball a lot. I will probably spend most of the game chewing the clock as far as our tempo, because we just want to limit the amount of time that they have the football. And if they can't stop us from scoring when we're just running the ball down the field, that's a really good recipe for success. So we'll try and do it again. I don't know how easy it's going to be, but that's the plan. And then, let's see, a couple more upgrades here. I don't care about Mac Hall. He's just a roster filler. With Sammy Webster, we're going to keep emphasizing the zone because he's weakest at it by a significant margin, and we do run a lot of zone. So that's the logic there. All right, hang on a second. All right, so that is it. We are now prepped and ready for divisional round action. We've got a home game against our rival in the Kansas City Chiefs, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can repeat the recipe for success that we had against these guys last time. So let's go on out to Mile High Stadium and see if we can get it done. And here we are, Denver, Colorado. It is the divisional round of the playoffs with Kansas City on the road here, with Denver having won that first round bye, knocking them off in head-to-head matchup late in the season in convincing fashion, especially considering that the conditions were just not very, favorable really to either side. Poor footing, they managed to run the ball a ton and really just took it to Kansas City. We'll see Denver's, or Brett Morris's numbers here for the regular season. 39 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions, and over 3,700 yards passing for the year, as he was just sensational for them. And this is not what Kansas City wants to see here on the first play from scrimmage. It's Javonte Williams and he's got 11 yards and a first down. But now later in the drive, 3rd down and 13. Morris has Marshall open, coming across the middle of the field, but the pass is off the mark, incomplete, and Kansas City forces a punt. So it's going to be taken at about the 11-yard line, short return there, brought back to the 18, and that's where Kansas City will start 1st and 10. An injury timeout here, and now it's going to be Pat Mahomes going to work on 3rd and 4 here. That pass was dangerous there because nobody was looking for it. It falls incomplete, and they go 3 and out. So now Denver on the kick return here is Corey Bryant, and he has a nice return here back to the 46-yard line. That's where Kansas City, or Denver rather, will take over. First play from scrimmage, that pass complete to Cortland Sutton, good for 15 yards and into Kansas City territory. Then the next play, they go play action. It's going to be Marshall on the post, and he is going to haul it in for the touchdown. So Jerry Jeudy has left this game due to an injury, and they're just 2 plays, and it's Cortland Sutton and then Marshall with a big touchdown strike, and they are ahead 7-0. Ensuing possession, 3rd down and 7. That pass intended for Kelsey. He wasn't going to have the first down anyway, but the pass is actually incomplete, and it brings up 4th down. So they would punt. Next possession, does this look familiar? How about a hitch route to Cortland Sutton? That gets him to the 43-yard line, and then play action, and there is Marshall again on the deep post, just absolutely smoking the defender, and he's going to take it in, this time for 43 yards. And 2 consecutive drives, they run the exact same plays with the exact same result, and it is now 14-0. Now 2nd and 5. There goes Mahomes. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to now slide down at the 41-yard line in Kansas City into Denver territory for the first time. Now 3rd down and 11. That pass to the outside and picked off by Ojemudia. The receiver wasn't even looking for the pass, so Mahomes perhaps feeling some pressure there, getting rid of it quickly. We saw this a couple of times now where he's thrown passes and the receivers weren't even looking for it. Now, first play of the ensuing possession, Trey Stevenson on the handoff gets to the edge, a huge gain. He's got 34 yards on that one, and it's down to the 23-yard line. Now 1st and goal, they go play action. It works again, and this time it's Noah Fant wide open, and make it 21-0. Denver just putting it on Kansas City in this one. They get the ball back, and here it is again. Play action down the middle, and it's going to be incomplete, but a flag. So that play has been just crushing Kansas City, and that's the 3rd time now that Denver had some big production out of it. And then the next set of downs here, 1st and goal from the 9. Javonte Williams takes it in, makes it 28-0. Now 2nd and 8. Kansas City finally getting the ball all the way down into the red zone, but Mahomes fumbles the football. Denver recovers. It's now 28-0, and you just lost your best chance to score some points. Denver would just absolutely crush Kansas City in this football game, dominating him in just every facet, including turnovers, where they forced 3 in the first half, and they win by a total of 45-7. So Denver, a very impressive outing. And you see here, Brett Morris, 15 for 20, 231 yards, ends up with 4 touchdowns on the day. Pat Mahomes, just 188 yards through the air. He had the interception, fumbled the ball away a couple of times. They just were not very good in this one. Javonte Williams, 113 yards and a touchdown. Trey Stevenson, 76 yards. Pat Mahomes led the Chiefs in rushing yards with 43 on 5 carries, as Edward Solero is a non-factor in this one. Benny Snell getting involved a little bit. Travis Kelce had the most receptions with 8 on the day for 57 yards, but Cortland Sutton, a nice day, 6 catches, 88 yards. Shelby, a couple of grabs. Cephas did some stuff. There's Terrace Marshall. You see there, 3 catches, 97 yards, and a pair of touchdowns for him. Noah Fant, just 2 catches, but he ends up with 13 yards and a touchdown. There's Cole Campbell, the best play of the day for the Chiefs, as he ends up with 70 yards receiving on the afternoon. Will McPherson with 11 tackles led everybody, including 1 for a loss. There's Ashley with 10 for the Chiefs, best in that department for them. And then as you see the sacks there, 2 for Webster, 1 for Burke, and then Kaminsky had 1 for the Chiefs. Ojemudia with the interception for the Broncos. And then you'll see there, how about Luke Burke with 3 forced fumbles from the rookie in his first postseason game. Excellent performance out of him. Price, you can see there, ends up with 6 extra points on the day and also had a chip shot field goal at the end of the first half.
Townsend ended up having to punt 5 times in a net average of 26 yards, just absolutely atrocious. Gervasi 2 punts, 81 yards for a net of 38.5, and the Broncos win this one big, 45-7.
And now we've got a couple of post-game upgrades here as Luke Burke is going to get one. That's awesome. We're going to spend this one on run support to continue to just get him pretty well balanced. If he's going to play free safety for us, that would be the best scheme fit anyway. So that's probably the one that we will emphasize for a while with him. But bottom line, he's turning into a really good player, dangerous in a lot of different ways, and making some plays in that game. Man, 3 forced fumbles, super impressive. Now, Terrace Marshall had a great game here. I could emphasize route running since it's the scheme fit, but this is a guy that we will probably use mostly to just run the deep route, so that's what we're going to kind of stick with him for. You saw it pay off big time there, his ability to get open running those deep routes, and he had a massive day for us and really kind of set the tone when it was a game that we expected to run the ball a lot, but we had some early success on the ground, took 1 or 2 shots with play action, and hit gold. So that definitely kind of changed the complexion of that game. So, all right, now what do we need to do moving into the next week? We should get some more, I guess, staff points maybe for the rivalry upset, but it's not a big deal. I'd rather take like XP for everyone on the team, or morale would be even better. Let's see what we get here. +5 hit power and some staff points for the next game. So, the bottom line is we're riding high going into this next game against the Ravens, but we are going to simulate it. And, okay, so we're going to also be without Sammy Webster for the rest of the year. We kind of knew that that was coming. So that might hurt a little bit, but I still think we're okay at corner with Surtain and Ojemudia. And then, who's the next guy? Bryant is okay. So we'll be all right there. One thing I'm actually gonna do though is go into the depth chart, and I want to look at our situation at corner. Oh, Romeo Carr. Yeah, he can definitely play that position. In fact, I'm going to move him ahead of Bryant. I've been disappointed with how Corey Bryant has not really progressed as a corner. I mean, he's a decent kick returner or whatever. I'm even considering like switching these two here, but the reason I'm not going to is that if we go farther down here, first let me make sure this is the way we want it, and it is. But if we go here, Luke Burke is the first guy. He's basically playing middle linebacker when we're in the dime. I could switch that and have McPherson take that role. Let's do that. Just because I think, excuse me. So that would be Carr. You know what? No, I'm not going to mess with it because I don't know how it'll all work out with slot corner versus the regular corner depth and how those get shuffled around. So we'll just leave it the way it is. We'll be all right. Either way, we've got 4 very capable corners on the field at all times, pretty darn good safeties, and then guys up the middle that can make plays for us. So, here comes the moment of truth with simulating this game against the Ravens. And I'm going to go ahead and point out, and I probably should have done this at the very beginning of this franchise series, like, we're not on here to win, Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Like, obviously that's our goal. But it's not realistic to take a team like Denver and after 1 or 2 seasons, all of a sudden you're winning the Super Bowl every year. And I could probably do that if I would just play each game. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that we would probably win the Super Bowl 9 times out of 10 if I played every single game. We want there to be an element of realism to where, like, we've built this really good team. We just got to get over the hump, and it's not going to happen every year. So, if this is if you're watching to see a team just dominate and win Super Bowl after Super Bowl, this is not the series for you. So, anyway, let's, I don't know why I was thinking that was going to simulate the Ravens game, because we haven't even set the strategy for it yet. So, we'll get through all that stuff first. Alright, what's it saying here? Blizzard conditions. There's a shocker. Jeez. Every single time in the playoffs, if it's snowing, or if you're in a cold weather city in the playoffs and you're not in a dome, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a blizzard. Like, Madden, you got to fix that. Alright, weekly... oh, yeah. Let's look at the weekly awards, because we might get offensive and defensive here. Oh, come on. 11 tackles and an interception? Dude, Burke had... I don't know how many tackles, but he had 3 forced fumbles and a sack. Like, that's really impressive. And then a good day for Brett Morris with the 4 touchdown passes. So, I'm kind of surprised that Burke didn't get player of the week defensively, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Weekly strategy. So, Lamar Jackson is still dangerous, and this team actually runs the ball very well, even though it says that they, as far as play calling, they pass it 57% of the time. I am going to go in here and say QB scramble. And so the hope here is that if we can limit him in his ability to get out of the pocket and make plays by just running with it, I think that team becomes vulnerable. So we'll stick with blitz counter there. These goals don't really matter. We are going to go ahead, I guess, and just set them just in case they actually do influence the gameplay in games that you sim. I think we're going to... actually, you know what? We're probably going to want to try and run the ball a lot. And it would be nice to get some sacks. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, but just in case it does actually have any kind of impact on the simulation, we'll set those. Now, we might have some player upgrades, but that should be it before we jump into simulate mode, right? Okay, yeah, we do. Who we got? Be some good ones. Bubba Van Buren, another depth middle linebacker who's turning into a pretty decent player, frankly. Then we've got Herbig, who we just extended to come back for 1 more year as our backup right guard. I don't care about Carlos Best. James Webster. He's getting another one. We're going to keep going power rusher. He's going to be really good. I'm excited about him. Lloyd Cushenberry continues to get a little bit better. We'll keep going power. He's decent enough as a pass blocker that I'm okay just kind of ignoring that going forward. Will McPherson, keep going field general. There's a distinct possibility that he ends up getting moved to outside linebacker at some point, but we'll see. For Sean Harold, he's decent already at run stopping. I'm going to emphasize his ability to get to the quarterback. So that's that. Right, Sean McMillan gets another one. This is a lot of upgrades, and I like it. Corey Bryant gets one. We're going to go... I'm going to go slot and hope that he also gets a zone coverage boost, which he did not. But he did get awareness and play recognition, so that might help, even with his zone coverage. So, alright. Tavai. Ooh, I see Patrick Surtain getting another one. Heck yeah. Alright. So, we'll get Surtain better at... We're just going to do slot, because his overall is going to go up. He's good enough at zone that it doesn't matter all that much if I, focus on it. And he got a zone coverage boost anyway. Like, he is, at this point in his career, basically among probably the top 2 or 3 corners in the league, which is awesome. All right. Are we ready? I believe we are. So, come on. Cross those fingers, y'all. I do not want to have another season come up short. I at least want to get to the freaking Super Bowl just one time. There we go. Oh, yes. 24-19, and we'll go look at the stats in a minute. But, man, am I fired up now. Because what we will do is we'll go ahead and include the Super Bowl in this episode. So you're going to get a 2-for-1 special. Everybody gets XP because we won in the snow again. So we should have some more upgrades, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and look at... Shouldn't there be annual awards, or do we get those next week before the Super Bowl starts, actually? So Javonte Williams and Will McPherson get Player of the Week honors. Let's go ahead. We'll save the player upgrades until we're... Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do them. We might have a few more before the actual Super Bowl because of our weekly strategy or whatever, our training sessions, but... So, Nolan Bennett, a couple guys that we don't care about. Jerry Jeudy, nice. He is a stud. Brett Morris I saw getting one, which is awesome. We're going to keep going improviser so that we're moving up the scheme fit a little bit, but bottom line is he's turned into a really good quarterback. I really hope he wins the MVP this year. OJ Mudia, I think what I'm going to do with him is go slot because he might be moving to the slot in a couple of years, and I want to, bring that rating up so that when we get him off of the boundary, he's ready for that. Luke Burke, run support again. Oh, that was an absolute steal of that draft. No question. Best pick of that draft. Lindsey Green, get power. I think he's ready to start next year. He's a 77 overall, 72 for agility, 71 for pass protection. That's good enough to be serviceable at left tackle. So, I probably should be emphasizing accuracy with him a little bit more, but usually even if you pick power, they get accuracy boosts instead. So, I'm just, picking power hoping that I actually get the power increased. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world. All right, so Marcus Webster, go power rusher. I got too many guys on this team named Webster, and I get them confused. Francois, we're going to go physical. I think that was our strategy with him, right? And then Javonte Williams. Boom. Up to a 96 overall. Stud. Alright. Now, we will sim Pro Bowl week. And prior to the Super Bowl, all we should really need to do is go through the training or whatever, set our strategy, and then... Oh, we do have Media Day. We'll look at... Let's actually look at yearly awards first. So, MVP is Joe Mixon. And Brett Morris finished freaking 5th. You gotta be kidding me. That's garbage. Coach of the Year! There we go! That's what I'm talking about. Finally. Alright, so AFC Offensive Player of the Year, I finish 4th. Garbage. Defensive Player of the Year was Myles Garrett. We didn't even have anybody in the top 10, which is garbage because Surtain had a heck of a year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kiwani Michael for the Texans. I think he was a running back, if I'm not mistaken, but he could have been a wideout. It doesn't really matter. Nobody on our team on that list. Defensive Rookie of the Year. He finishes freaking 4th. Come on with this. Led the team in tackles. He had an interception or 2, sacks, forcing a bunch of fumbles. Garbage. QB, Brett Morris. Which, okay, so on the Offensive Player of the Year, Pat Mahomes was ahead of me. But yet on this list, he finishes 3rd. Like, what's going on there? Mixon gets the Running Back of the Year. There's Javonte Williams. 3rd. Best wideout, Jarvis Landry, getting her done late in his career. There's Jerry Jeudy, 6th, and he missed a little bit of time due to injury, I believe. Offensive line, Ronnie Stanley is the best O-lineman. We got somebody on there, Lloyd Cushenberry, finishing 9th. That a boy. Best D-lineman, Myles Garrett, no surprise. And nobody for the Broncos. Best linebacker, Harold Landry. And there's Bradley Chubb. And there's Khalil Mack. Best DB, Marlon Humphrey edged out Patrick Surtain. So that's kind of a bummer, but not a big deal. Did Price make the list? He did. Top 10 in the AFC. So you're still bottom half, but that's, as a rookie, not that bad. All right, we'll look at the NFC just out of curiosity. Christian McCaffrey is still a 99 overall. That's ridiculous this deep into this series. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like he's won a few of those. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Luke Hutchins for the Rams. I'm guessing that that's a quarterback, but I don't know. Defensive Rookie, Jimmy Caver for the Cardinals. Russell Wilson, Best QB. McCaffrey, Best Running Back. No surprise there. Zeke is still a 97. DeAndre Swift is up to a 90. All right. Slayton, Best Wide Receiver for the Packers. Ragnow, Best Lineman. I tell you what, if you follow the Lions at all, they do have a chance to end up with a pretty good offensive line. Within a couple of years, they've got some young studs that, they kind of got to prove themselves, but they've got a chance to be really good. Aaron Donald still doing really well this far into this series, gets Best D Lineman. Micah Parsons, no surprise. Jonathan Jones, a 79 overall, probably a guy playing the slot that ended up with like 7 interceptions or whatever, and that's all that matters. Matthew Wright, Best Kicker. All right, so those are the annual awards. I am bummed that Morris didn't get the MVP, but at least he got the Best QB, and we got Coach of the Year, baby. Evan Milligan. All right, this is going to mean everything, not just the beginning. I don't want to sound smug and cocky or whatever. We're just happy to be here, and it's the opportunity of a lifetime, right? Weekly strategy against the Lions. Did I see that right? Jameis Winston has led the Lions to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I guess we'll say defend the deep pass. I'm honestly mostly worried about slowing down DeAndre Swift, assuming that they use him like they should. But we'll find out. Yes, we will go blitz counter. These goals don't really matter, so just skip through that. Can we take down the Detroit Lions? It's good to see the Lions having some success in this franchise. It took a while for them to get there, but they've been able to put together a pretty good team. They've got decent weapons on offense with Hawkinson and Swift, so we need to play a good game here. But it's in a dome in Atlanta, which is an advantage for them because they play in a dome, but probably not that big of a deal. And if you look at this on paper, we're the better team. So let's head on out to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and see if we can take down the Lions.
And here we are in Atlanta, Georgia. It is going to be the Broncos and the Lions. And going into this season, in real life at least, I guess, the Lions had not won a playoff game since 1992. This is their first ever Super Bowl appearance, and they are going to kick off. So it's going to be Bryant bringing it back from the 3, and he's got it out to about the 33-yard line. So good starting field position for Denver. And here comes Brett Morris, and we've seen his numbers. He has been outstanding this year for this squad. 39 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in the regular season, and he has been fantastic so far in the postseason. And they're going to start things off on the ground here. First play from scrimmage, Javonte Williams fumbles. The Lions recover, and they are going to take over at the 33-yard line just 9 seconds into the game, and they are already in field goal range with a chance to take an early lead if they can, just convert here. Now, Jameis Winston going to work here. He's got 36 touchdowns on the year, 10 interceptions, over 4,500 yards passing for the veteran QB. Now 3rd down and 10, though, after a couple of incompletions. He's going to roll out. He is hit as he releases, and that pass incomplete. They go 0 for 3 passing on that effort. Now 4th and 10 from the 33. The kick is going to be no good, short from 50 yards, as he just gets nothing on this one, and a huge opportunity wasted by the Lions here as they took over with excellent field position, go 0 for 3 passing, and then miss a field goal. And then here's that deep post on play action that Denver utilized very well against the Chiefs. And this time it's Cortland Sutton with Jerry Jeudy back in the lineup, and that gets him way down deep into Detroit territory. Then on 3rd down, it's going to be Javonte Williams getting it just shy of the end zone, sets up 1st and goal. And the Broncos are going to have the early lead here as they go up now 7-0, as the extra point would be good. And now it's Detroit back to work. 3rd down and 4. That pass is going to be outside. Excellent catch there by Gross. And that's going to get it out to the 48-yard line into Denver territory, 1st and 10. Now 1st down from the 35, and it's going to be Campbell. It's going to make the grab there, good for 18 yards, gets it down into the red zone, and it's 1st and 10 from the 17. Now 3rd and 1, and it's TJ Hawkinson, good for the touchdown. Detroit answers, and we are now tied at 7 here with 4.5 left in the first quarter. Now 1st and 10 on the ensuing drive from the 39-yard line. It's Morris deep. Cortland Sutton again, another big catch for him as he goes up and gets it, gets the feet down in the back of the end zone, and it's a 39-yard touchdown strike. Denver grabs a 7-0 lead. Now 3rd and 3. Nice throw there from Winston as he rolled out and then fires it to his man. Good for the 1st down. And it's going to get him all the way to the 35-yard line as Robinson was the receiver there. Now 3rd and goal from the 10. Winston looking to throw. Plenty of time. He's going to roll out, try and find somebody, but he is going to get hit. Loses the football. It's loose, and nobody can find it until Denver eventually does fall on it. That is a huge fumble there by Jameis Winston. Denver's going to take over, but now they're going to take another look at it. And you can see here, does look as though that knee was down before that ball came out. So Detroit at least able to salvage this and get some points, as it's going to now be 14-10 as Bass hits from 38 to cut the lead down to 4. Now 2nd and 6 from the 29 on the ensuing drive, and it's going to be Jerry Jeudy coming across the field, and it's a foot race. He's got it all the way down to the 43-yard line. How about Brett Morris? 5 for 6, 132 yards so far in this one. Now 1st and 10 from the 21. That pass somehow complete to Jerry Jeudy. A diving one-handed grab, and he was just blanketed there. He's now got 70 yards on 4 catches. That would make it 1st and goal from the 9, and it's Javonte Williams taking it in. Way too easy there. The Detroit defense pretty porous on that effort, as these offenses are now starting to kind of hit their stride. On the ensuing possession, first play, DeAndre Swift somehow stays on his feet, and he is gone. So one play later, and it's going to be 21-17, still 6 minutes to go in the first half. 75 yards right up the middle. Poor tackling by the Broncos, but here comes their offense. They're already down to the 23-yard line, and that pass good for another 18 yards to make it 1st and goal from the 5. Next play, here's Morris going to roll out, and there's Noah Fant again. That pass is caught. Another touchdown. It would be now 28 to 17 at that point. So late in the first half, trailing by 11. Here comes Detroit. That pass is picked off by Romeo Carr, and it is now danger time for Detroit, as that's going to make it 35-17, the pick six. You can see here, he's firing this pass, and nobody is, or the Denver defense in the zone there. Romeo Carr just looking into the backfield, reading the QB's eyes, and he picks it off, takes it to the house. And now this one is getting ugly, but Detroit going back to work on offense here late in the first half. That pass complete out to the 41. They're in a hurry up here. That's another completed pass. That's going to be Campbell getting them down to the Denver 39. Now 3rd and 4 from the 34. Luke Burke, rookie, with great awareness there, gets a hand up, bats it down, so it's 4th down. And the Lions have to settle for a field goal, as it would make it 35-20 late in the first half. And that would be the score at the half. Just a offensive onslaught by this Denver squad as they put up a ton of points. So after the initial fumble, it really has been a pretty porous effort from this Detroit defense. They trail by 15 as we go to the second half. 2nd and 4 on that first drive. So just the second play of the second half, and that is going to be a sack for Khalil Mack. Makes it 3rd down and 10, and now this is a big play here, because if Detroit can't convert, you give the ball right back to the Broncos. He's going to go for it all, sends it deep, almost pulled in, but it is incomplete. And now Denver takes over on offense. From their own 37, there's Javonte Williams. A nice hard run there, gets it out to midfield. Good for a 1st down. And Denver threatening to expand that lead. Now 3rd and 10, though, and Morris throwing on the run. He had a man open, but that pass off the mark, and they have to try a 53-yard field goal. The kick from Price is good. The lead is back to 18. It is now 38-20, partway through this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 2 on the ensuing possession, and it's Bradley Chubb coming off the edge. And if he didn't get Winston, Khalil Mack was about to. That's going to be a big loss. Sets up 3rd down and 12, and now Winston looking to throw, going down the middle. That pass broken up by Surtain, incomplete, and the Lions are going to go 3 and out. So now on the ensuing possession, 2nd and 4 from the 43. He's going deep for Cortland Sutton. That ball is caught all the way down to the 1-yard line. Make it 1st and goal, and a chance for Denver to really stretch this out if they can put this one in, and that is exactly what they're going to do. They go play action, a pump fake, and then he hits Noah Fant wide open in the end zone, and that is going to make it 45-20. Detroit in some serious trouble here with 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Now it's 4th down and 7. Their last hurrah here, as that was an extended drive there. You see there's 8 minutes to go in the game. That pass incomplete. That would pretty much do it, as Denver would just run out the clock and win the final 45-20, and the Broncos are Super Bowl champions in the 2026 season, as they are just going to celebrate here in Atlanta. Detroit, tough loss. They had a chance to get out in front early and could not capitalize, and then Denver's offense just went on a tear to put up a bunch of points in this one. Jameis Winston coming that close to becoming a Super Bowl champion, but it just wasn't enough to get the job done here. But a valiant effort by this Detroit squad all in all, as they've at least managed to make a Super Bowl appearance and turn this franchise around, at least temporarily. Looks like they're headed in the right direction. But Denver is your Super Bowl champion. And that's a moment that we've been kind of waiting for in this franchise over the last several years. We've had our chances. We finally get there, and we get the job done and are bringing home the Lombardi Trophy. So let's take a look at some stats here, as I'm kind of getting tired of talking, to be honest. 17 for 24, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns for Brett Morris. Probably your Super Bowl MVP, if I had to guess. How about Jameis Winston? 25 of 38, 252 yards and a touchdown, but 2 interceptions that really hurt there as that game unfolded. And then Javonte Williams ends up with 99 yards, a couple of touchdowns after he fumbled on the first play of the game. DeAndre Swift, actually a nice day. Statistically, he had that 75-yard touchdown run, ends up with 107 on the ground for the day. Stevenson had 76 yards on the ground, which I feel like he's done that about 1,000 times just this season. TJ Hawkinson, 77 yards and a touchdown. Paris Campbell, a pretty nice day. Jerry Jeudy, 5 catches, 86 yards. Noah Fant, 41 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson, 56 yards. DeAndre Swift, 4 catches for 30 yards. Huge day for Cortland Sutton, 4 grabs, 151 yards and a touchdown for the veteran wideout as he becomes a Super Bowl champion. And then just kind of limited production from the rest of the guys down that list. And then we look at the defensive side of things as Pete Warner with 15 tackles for the Lions led everybody in that category. Will McPherson, 10 tackles, including 1 for a loss, was the best for Denver in that category. Bradley Chubb, 2 sacks. Khalil Mack and then James Webster all racking up sacks. No sacks for the Detroit squad as the 4 horsemen getting it done yet again in this one. And then 2 interceptions on the day, Surtain and Carr, including the pick 6 that kind of sparked a runaway in this one. And then there's Price, a 53-yarder and 6 extra points. That missed field goal in the first half by Detroit really kind of set the tone, and it was all Denver after that. Gervasi only had to punt 1 time on the day. It was a 32-yarder down inside the 20. And the Broncos, Super Bowl champs, 45-20 here in Atlanta.
So we have finally done it. 5 seasons in, Super Bowl 60 champions, the Denver Broncos. Heck of a season, going 15-2, and then, quite frankly, a pretty comfortable couple of games through the playoffs, with the AFC Championship being the one that was a little bit nerve-wracking because we didn't get to play it. But what this means now moving forward is next episode will be the off-season. And frankly, we're 5 years into the franchise, and we just won a Super Bowl. I don't know how many other series that you're going to be able to watch that will go farther than 5 series without doing a ton of simulating. So we're going to keep this one going. I'm actually kind of enjoying this playthrough. And the team is now finally to the point where, I feel like I could just simulate every game of the season, and we're going to be a playoff team and a definite contender to win it all. So we'll keep it going. I don't know how much longer, but that's the plan for now, is to at least do another season. We might even consider maybe changing the presentation style a little bit and doing even a little bit more simulating so that we can really burn through seasons and try and get deep into this run and see how some of these young guys develop and turn, their career turns out or whatever. But we'll see. A couple of nice upgrades here at the end of the year. 3 of our key players going into next season are getting upgrades, which is nice. Also, I don't know if I showed it, but right after the game, Brett Morris got an upgrade. So he's turning into a very good NFL quarterback. And now it's staff week. I did see that we got extended, which is no surprise. We'll look at staff moves just in case there's something here where one of our coordinators got hired away or something along those lines. I've never seen it yet, and still don't see it. So a bunch of guys getting fired. That's all they showed. So they haven't shown any, new hires. But anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and advance week, and that'll get us to the start of the, re-signing period and free agency, etc. And that's what we will cover in the next episode. So there's going to be a lot going on in that one. Basically, we'll try and get all the way through the off-season and prepped and ready for game 1 of the 2026 NFL season. So that is going to do it for this episode. If you have not done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friend and neighbor. Or shall I say this afternoon?